Have you ever stumbled to the bathroom at night, waving your hands in front of you like a zombie, trying not to trip over a chair? Now imagine a version of yourself that doesn't need to turn on a light. You wake up in the middle of the night, and everything around you is perfectly visible. No shadows, no fumbling. Just clear vision like it's the middle of the day. What if humans had night vision? Not with goggles or technology. I'm talking about built-in biological night vision, like an owl or a cat. What would that even look like? How would it change our lives? And is it something that could actually happen? Let's break it down. Right now, human vision is pretty impressive for a daytime species. We rely heavily on color and detail, and our eyes are optimized for well-lit environments. That's why sunsets look stunning to us, why we can read tiny text, and why we struggle so badly in the dark. But many animals don't have this problem. They've evolved night vision by developing specific adaptations. One of the most important is something called the tapetum lucidum. It's a reflective layer behind the retina that acts like a biological mirror. When light enters the eye, this layer bounces it back through the retina, giving the photoreceptors a second chance to detect it. That's what makes a cat's eyes glow in the dark. If humans had this adaptation, we'd suddenly become nocturnal capable. We wouldn't see in pitch-black total darkness, but in environments with even the tiniest bit of light, like moonlight or starlight, we'd see as if it were twilight. Our entire perception of the world would change. For starters, the color of everything would be different. Night vision tends to favor motion and contrast over color. So we'd likely see in shades of gray or maybe even green-tinted monochrome, depending on the structure of the eye. The world at night would look flatter with less depth, but clearer than we've ever experienced. But there's a trade-off. The very thing that helps us see in the dark, light amplification, would be a problem during the day. Our eyes would be much more sensitive to bright light. Daylight might become overwhelming, even painful, like staring at a floodlight. That's why most animals with true night vision are nocturnal. They hunt, forage, and move around at night, and avoid the harshness of the sun. So, if humans evolved true night vision, we might naturally shift toward becoming more active after sunset. Our entire civilization could start operating on a different schedule. Imagine cities that come alive at night. Schools and offices opening at midnight. Sunlight hours becoming quiet, restful times. It sounds strange, but it wouldn't be unprecedented. In extremely hot climates, many cultures already take midday breaks and resume activities after sunset. With night vision, this lifestyle might become global. By the way, if you like this content, remember to subscribe and like. Let's continue with the video. Our cities would look dramatically different too. If everyone could see in the dark, we wouldn't need nearly as much artificial lighting. Streetlights, billboards, car headlights, all of these might become unnecessary or dramatically dimmed. That would mean less energy consumption and, surprisingly, a huge benefit for the environment. Light pollution is a massive problem. Most people on Earth can't see the Milky Way anymore because of it. If we relied on our own biological night vision instead of electric lights, we might be able to reclaim the stars. Imagine walking down the street at night, seeing clearly without a single bulb overhead, and looking up to see the entire galaxy stretching across the sky. And then there's security and safety. Night vision would make it harder for intruders to hide under cover of darkness. Crimes that happen in unlit areas might drop. Driving at night would be safer. Emergency responders could navigate dark buildings without flashlights. Search and rescue operations would improve dramatically. But it's not all upside. If everyone had night vision, privacy would become a little trickier. Darkness currently acts as a kind of natural barrier. Without it, we might need to redesign homes and buildings to give people more visual privacy at night. And here's another weird question. How would it affect our culture? Horror movies, nighttime romance, campfire stories, these all rely on darkness having a certain mystery. Would those emotional associations change if the night didn't hide anything anymore? Would we feel the same sense of wonder walking through a dark forest? Or would it start to feel as ordinary as a walk in the park? From a biological standpoint, giving humans night vision isn't as far-fetched as it might sound. Researchers have already experimented with ways to temporarily grant night vision using special proteins and nanoparticles. In one experiment, scientists injected mice with a light-sensitive molecule that made them sensitive to infrared light. For several weeks, they could see in near total darkness. There are even reports of experimental eye drops that could temporarily enhance human night vision. Though these are far from ready for safe use, and we're still years away from reliable long-term solutions. But gene editing? That could be the real game changer. With CRISPR and similar technologies, it might be possible to modify the human eye to include a tapetum lucidum, or boost the number of rods in the retina, which are the cells responsible for low-light vision. In theory, future generations could be born with enhanced night vision as a standard trait, just like height, hair color, or eye shape. Would it be worth it? https://levenlabs.io/, voice. Library that depends on how we live. In a world dealing with climate change, rolling blackouts, and increasing nighttime activity due to extreme daytime heat, night vision might not just be cool, it might be practical. Imagine a society that thrives in the dark because it no longer needs the sun to function. And then there's space exploration. Astronauts on distant planets with long nights, or no atmosphere at all, would benefit enormously from built-in night vision. It could become part of how we adapt to life beyond Earth. So, what if humans had night vision? We'd see a world hidden from us now. We'd build cities for the dark. We'd change how we work, how we sleep, even how we dream. Night would no longer be the end of the day. It would be the beginning of a whole new kind of life.